up, what up, what up? Happy Tuesday. Dog, guys, my peoples. Man, what is going on, everyone? How's everyone doing? At this point that you're listening to the podcast, we are officially married for about a few days now. What? What?
Ready? Is everyone ready?
Hold up.
Okay.
Wait, unless you have something to say.
No,
if you're gonna shout in people's ears, you have to tell them. Oh my god! All right. So, are you gonna shout in someone's ears so I can prep this?
In a little bit, yeah.
Oh god! All right, guys. So, by the time that you're listening to this, we have been married for a few days now.
2 days, just 2.
And they could be listening to this on Wednesday. What up?
All right, fine.
But nonetheless, I just want to say, man, it was a good wedding. This is future me talking.
How do you even know?
Oh wait, this is past me, old me talking to future me.
Okay, we don't even know, guys. Okay, it's the Wednesday before.
Yeah, we're pre-recording this podcast, of course.
We got a lot going on the next few days.
A bit earlier because we normally record on the weekends to have this out for you guys, but of course because we're having the wedding,
occupied just a tiny bit.
Exactly. So with that being said, prepare your ears because Lauren's going to get loud as soon as I do this intro. So prep yourself. Here we go. Check it, guys. What is going on, everyone? I'm Shadell, co-host of Paging the Simpsons. I'm joined by my lovely wife.
Did you hear it? He did it. Did you hear it? It was different. Did you hear that?
Corny.
The wife, that's me. I'm Lauren.
Yeah. And she is now a Simpson.
Ooh.
Okay. You're making this super awkward.
No.
Yes.
No, it's exciting.
You're making it awkward.
How is it awkward?
You're just making it awkward.
It's exciting.
So,
man,
I'm sorry for your eardrums.
Shush with your little man self. It's exciting. It's a big moment.
I have killed my fiance, brought home a wife.
That's a way to put it.
I have an ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, see, that one makes more sense. But killed your fiance? You haven't killed anybody.
I mean, there's no longer a Lauren Page in the world, is there? Well, none that's associated to me.
Oh, wow.
Got him.
That's a terrible way to put it, though. Do not. I am still the same person, okay?
Are you? Probably a bit more sassier when he's like, "Oh, I'm the wife, sweetie. Back off." That's my man.
No, so guys, so we had water heater issues. I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast.
You talked about it a little bit.
Yeah, we had water heater issues a couple weeks ago, and we've been dealing with that ever since, with fixing the drywall and all that fun stuff that comes with flooding. And so there's been a couple phone calls or meeting in person, one of the guys or whatever, and he'll just be like, "Oh, and this is my wife," or "I have to talk to my wife." And when he gets off the phone, I'm like, "You what? You who? What'd you say there?"
You know what's funny?
And it's just, we're at this point, it's just easier to say.
Missy, she's gonna pull out the cable if you don't put her down or something.
Okay, what were you gonna say?
What I find interesting is during the whole from proposal to marriage part, I feel like the girl is asked more of your fiance and this and that, and asked all that stuff. And I feel like after the fact, I feel like I hear a lot more guys say wife than I hear women say husband. In my experience, I feel like I hear that. See, look, I feel like you give me he seems like he's right. I feel like
but maybe it's just because
changed.
but maybe we're just hyper aware of it right now. You know what I mean? Kind of like when you get hyper aware of a car and then you see it more. Mister, you would know all about that.
This is your way of surprising me of getting a Tesla.
I saw one today at my meeting, by the way.
If that's your way of telling me that you were driving one today.
I don't know who was driving it. It was a black Model 3.
Yeah, okay.
Anyways.
Don't tell me this.
No, but yeah, I feel like maybe it's because we're hyper aware.
I don't know. I just feel like the roles
But yeah,
switch.
I do feel like guys, I don't know. I feel like guys don't say fiance as much.
Because it's stupid.
How is it stupid?
I hate that whole transitional thing.
Well, it's weird because it's so temporary. Well, I guess
depending on your wedding date.
I was going to say, I guess it depends how long you've been dating. Because to us, it seems more temporary because we've been together so long. But say you're dating for 5 months and then you're like, oh.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
But nonetheless, guys.
It's just, yeah, it was funny because the past couple weeks, he's like, it's just easier to say wife at this point.
Pretty much.
The thing that I like, although I don't necessarily agree with it. And I know you and I have talked about this, because it kind of has that stigma and how like, oh, if you're in a long-term relationship but you're not married, that it's not like legit enough. But you feel more legit. Like when you say husband or wife, you feel like more grown up and serious. Like people take you more seriously when you say, like when I say husband or even fiance, I feel like people look at me differently when you use that title versus boyfriend.
See, and that's my issue. Because I'm a guy and I don't care. But like my close friends, we were out for like a guy's night and his dad was like, oh man, you got to, pressure my son to like propose to his girlfriend. And I'm like, I don't really care, like, when he does it. Like, they've been together for, about the same time as us, I think 4 years, 5 coming up down the road.
Oh, that one. Okay.
And I'm like...
I didn't know which one you were talking about.
Okay,
I was like, what?
Cool. And it's like... I don't care. Like,
well,
right,
I don't care and exactly. Again,
you propose or not. Like, it doesn't change my life.
I hate that too. The outside pressure is really dumb. And we've gone off on the podcast about this at length, but no, it's just weird. And I feel like, yeah, you said you feel that way too, even like at work and stuff, like that you're seen as almost like an official grown up, like, and it's like, listen to this, okay? People could go to war, people could be open heart surgeons and all that stuff and be like so legit and an adult and be doing these big deal things, but like you're seen still as less than of adult if you don't have like, if you're not married, and it's weird.
And this is funny, but I also feel like it's true. Guarantee in 2020 I get a nice little pay raise, and it's not because I'm doing a good job. I'm doing a good job, of course, but I feel like being married in the corporate world, like you get looked at as like, oh man, this guy has a family, this guy is doing things, I'm gonna give him a bigger piece of the pie here.
But then the annoying thing that comes next, and that's worse.
Oh god, here we go. You're gonna lead into something else.
Is the whole thing
Are you gonna go with gender?
No.
Okay.
What?
Go ahead. No, continue.
No.
Go ahead.
The whole thing of, well, now this person's married, and so you're like, oh, he has a family now, and he needs a raise and whatever, is the whole, ooh, when are they having kids thing. And I hate that.
I mean, no one at the work is going to say that. So that's
no, but I'm saying subliminally. It's almost like, okay, well, that's the natural next step kind of thing.
So you took that a completely different way. So for outside of the corporate world, then yeah, I get that. Within the corporate world, no. No coworker has ever asked anyone like, "Yo,
then why would they give you a raise for just being married instead of like, it's the intention of
you looked at as more relatable." Just like when I have kids, you're like, "Oh man, you looked at as more relatable. I'll give you more perks because I know you have a kid." You need to go off.
I don't know if that's gonna happen to me.
You need to leave for work early because you have something with your kid. Okay, cool. I get it because I've been there. I am there. So it's like you get more leeway when it comes to those things because that person can relate to you.
Yeah.
Versus if, we were just dating, we didn't live together. It's just like, oh, I have to like leave early to go to this thing with my girlfriend. Like I can see any like supervisor kind of like brushing that off because it's like,
Oh, that's the thing too. Like the whole like, I have to take my wife to the hospital versus like girlfriend. I don't know. I just feel like it has this connotation with it, which again I don't necessarily agree with. Like, yes, I'm totally excited to be one and have the title and have that going on for us, but at the same time I don't look at people that aren't as less than.
Yep.
That's the part that annoys me, is that like some people would.
Yeah.
It's like, no, like just because, it's kind of similar to the thing about it this way, like someone who's been married before and they're divorced and now they're like 45 and they have a boyfriend. Okay, well, no one really says anything then like, oh, that's weird that you're 45 and have a boyfriend, because they know like their background. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like, so like we're at that weird age where like, where as you get older, it's less acceptable to have just a boyfriend or just a girlfriend, but we're not at the age where then it becomes acceptable again, which is weird.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird.
I don't know.
So, but yeah, guys. So we have no idea how the wedding went yet because it's not. It's yeah.
We'll be updating you next Tuesday on that whole like wedding.
We assume it was amazing though.
It better be. We assume everyone went.
Oh gosh. That's the next thing. So many people are asking us like, when is it? What's the address? All that stuff. And I'm just like, I hope like people show up. There's a lot of people confused about this. And I'm like, well, you're RSVP.
I mean, to be fair, a lot of it's going to be your friends because a lot of mine are just family that like most of them we just saw like on Thanksgiving. So
Okay, but still.
it's like, hey, I'll see you in a few weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, but when was your family member?
What? Okay. I mean, I don't.
It's a mix.
It's debatable. But
yeah, I'm preparing myself just because I know stuff will go wrong because everybody says it does. I'm just going to roll with it, and it's going to be amazing.
she's going to be a bridezilla. I'm going to post.
I have not been, okay?
So-
I really have not been. And I've had to hold my tongue a lot, and I've had to,
So
all that. So
I know you guys are hearing this after the fact, though. Here's a thought that I'm saying to everyone listening. I'm kind of debating if we should, if I should, pretty much, like when I have time, like do Instagram stories periodically of like different things on like the podcast. I'm not sure. I'm like debating it.
Of what?
Debating it. Put it.
Of what though?
Of the wedding, anything, everything.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
and
well,
like
yeah.
I can like do like what do you call it? Like what do you call those things on Instagram where it's like a circle thing and you get to like put like memory type
Highlights.
things? Yo, I could do that and put a highlight and it'll always be there.
Higher light.
You know what? Well, I feel like that'd be a smart idea.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, it's going down. It's going down. So if you
I'm
guys,
hoping people like tag us in stories so I can either record it on my phone or they like send it to us.
I don't really care about that.
I
But
don't know.
nonetheless, if you guys are listening to this, of course, I know you're listening to it. Check out our Instagram. If I'm staying to my word, by this point, if you go on our Instagram page in The Simpsons, you can see the highlight of the wedding and just different parts of it. And I'll probably be super awkward because I'm, on here, I'm rehearsed and refined and, it's just shooting things. It's just weird. So I don't do it a lot.
But no, I'm excited too because our photographer at the end of the night, she always posts like a slew of like sneak peek photos on her stories and tags like the bride and everything. So like by the end of the night, like we'll already see like some of our pictures, which will be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I'll repost those. So yeah. But yeah, guys.
All right.
That's it. Bye.
Get on to some stuff. So we're gonna change it up a little bit. We got a lot of topics. I want to talk about Juice WRLDs, talk about Nick Cannon, Eminem. Talk about a lot of stuff. But we're gonna change it up a little bit. I'm hoping to start this with a relationship topic, which we are, and then end it. And it's focused around marriage.
Oh, are we not doing one at the end?
Yes, we are. If we
we're
get to
doing
it, depending
both.
on time,
Oh.
we'll see.
All right.
But here we go.
Spicy.
Let's get it.
Let's get it.
I resent my wife for pushing me into marriage, and we want totally different things, but I do love her.
Okay.
So this guy goes on to say, we've been married for just over 5 years. We got married at 22 because at 21, my wife said I either propose or we're breaking up, which is wild.
At 21?
Yes. at
Wait,
21.
how long have they been together?
I mean, I don't know past that. They've been married for 5 years. They started dating when they were 18, so it's been a while.
Yeah, about
10 years, if that, total.
okay.
At the time, nonetheless, don't tell me you want to get married at 21. No, but we'll get into that.
I was dumb. I wanted to.
Oh, women. All right, so at the time,
Blessing in disguise. Look at it that way.
as long as I don't get cut off here, at the time,
Snip, snip.
she was my only friend, and I didn't want her to leave me. I care about her, and I love her, but I wasn't ready to get married. Also, we always said divorce was an option, so I didn't see what the big deal would be if we just got married. We could always get divorced.
Yeah, but who gets married and is just like, yeah, we're married,
See, but
and okay.
Here's my thing. She probably said that saying, hey, yeah, divorce is an option
but didn't.
to make him, like, okay with getting married because she really wanted it. But in her mind,
think it would actually happen.
Yeah, in her mind, she's like, it's not an option. That's my thought.
I mean, no one wants it to happen.
Don't tell me it's an option then.
I mean, realistically, it always is, but no one wants it to happen.
So he goes on to say, anyways, now she's talking about kids, and it's pretty much right on time, according to what she told me she wanted when we started dating at 18. And at 18, I said that's fine, which is basically how she talked me into proposing. At 21, she said something along the lines of, I really want to be married now. I don't know if I want to stay together if you are not ready for that. feel for you. Now she's saying something
Excuse me?
along the lines of, "This isn't new information that I want kids. Why are you suddenly changing your mind?"
The way you're reading this.
I'm just as puzzled as
Why
just this guy.
are you suddenly changing your mind?
And he goes on to say, "But the thing is, I do have the right to change my mind, and I'm realizing I had the right to change my mind about proposing 5 years ago.
Oh boy.
I feel like I was
Dun,
never
dun,
able to express how I felt, and now I'm stuck here. I love her, but I also resent her for pushing me along, even though it's not what I want. What do I do now?"
I mean, it's not really a question. It sounds like you kind of know the answer. You just feel bad about it.
Okay.
It's one of those where if your mind's like made up, you're clearly out the door. You know what I mean? Like, and
So here's my thing. Because women do this countless times, and I hate it. I hate it. What? What? Is that a problem?
I'm aware.
I hate it. So, my young guys out there that haven't been married or aren't in a relationship.
Young guys, like we're so old.
Yo, don't let anyone force you into getting married. And I see it all the time. I don't know why women feel like, oh man, I have to get married by 21, 22, 23. Like, why are we rushing things? Let me live my life. Like, do you have something to add?
No, I get
Why?
that.
Okay, so let me ask you this: why do women feel like they have to push someone into proposing to them?
Because we want it and we're taught that.
What's your thought process when you're like, man, I want to be married to this person?
That I want to be with this person forever, and I want commitment.
But you're saying that we're not committed.
It's a different level of commitment.
Explain.
Well, like even, okay, like my hairstylist, for example, that's doing the wedding hair. We were talking and like she's been with her guy for a while and she's been married now a little over a year. And she said, she's like, I don't know how to explain it, but like there just is, there like you just feel like there's this different level of kind of commitment and respect for each other. Like it's not that you don't change fundamentally. Yeah, you're still like the same people. You still like the same things. You do the same things. You're still like the same relationship. So it doesn't like drastically change in that regard. But it's more like, it's just kind of this knowing. It's like, okay, like this is the most committed you can be to somebody. And that, you know, it's the whole like, all right, like we're really, really in this. And you know, for better, for worse, all that kind of stuff. And she worded it really well because I feel like, because I was telling her that, I'm like, well, nothing's really going to change. Like, because I tell people all the time, like, it's more so you're just making it legal, like in the eyes of the law kind of thing. But she worded it in a way that it's like, no, like, don't undermine the fact that it still is important. Yes, it is a little bit more than what you have right now. It's different.
Which I get. But I'm saying this now, whenever we have our son or daughter, whatever it may be, I'm telling our son, you know, don't push someone into marriage. Don't push a man or woman, whoever you're interested in. Don't push them into marriage. And also don't get pushed into it. If you're not ready for it, that's one of the worst things. Because, yeah, you're going to end up like this guy where you're sitting there resenting it. Yeah. And same thing with the girl. Like, I'm sure you're going to, you know, back me when I say, like, no, you're not pushing this boy or girl, if we have a daughter, like, into marrying you.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to end up having an issue. You want each other to both be happy with the decision you're going to make, and then that's how you move forward, else you're going to have issues.
And you and I talked about this briefly before the podcast. I'm the kind of person, though, like, I'm cool with waiting. Longer term relationships are becoming more the norm and all that kind of stuff. So even us, like 4 years before we were engaged, you know, that's not so odd anymore. But like I was saying, like 10, 15 years, when it really gets into those big amount of years, at that point, I'm like, okay, like it's kind of like shit or get off the pot at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, and again, if people never want to be married, then cool, that's different. I'm saying more so like if there's either one or two parties that definitely marriage is in the picture, it's just a matter of when, then I think if you're waiting like 1 or 2 decades, that's a lot.
But again, it's up to that couple. And if the guy or girl in that, they're like, man, we've been together for 10 plus years, and this guy
and
has
I've
not.
heard it.
Guy or girl hasn't
I've
done
had
it,
multiple brides that have
then it's
that.
like, no offense, and that person isn't fitting what you need because clearly they aren't ready for it. And if you're not accepting of it,
well,
then it's like,
what I can
okay,
understand
then
is
you're the problem.
Sometimes what happens is, when you have those longer relationships, sometimes it's like, okay, well, we would have gotten married sooner, but there was an illness, like someone had cancer, or we had 2 kids, or like usually, a lot of times with those relationships too, stuff happens, and that's why it kind of took longer for them to do that step. I'm more so talking about the people that like it's just cruising. That's all. That's my opinion, but
no, I'm not saying your opinion is wrong. I'm just saying I don't agree.
Okay.
Which, I mean, hey, that's what the podcast is. But
no, like I wouldn't want my kids to do the whole pressure thing. Like I referenced earlier, it's like, yeah, I wanted to get married when I was like 20 because, you know, I was with a long-term boyfriend. And I looked at it. It was hard because I looked at it like I wasn't looking at my age. I wasn't looking at logistics of like, how are we actually going to move out and stuff. Like I was looking at how long have we been together? That was like the biggest factor. And so, you know, when it came to like 4 years and 3 years and all that, and I was like, okay, well, like, is it like gonna happen or like something? And I was naive. So like, you know, I get the mindset of if you get together at like 15, 16 and then you're into your 20s, then it feels like longer and it feels more serious than your age is, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get it.
Because, yeah, realistically, it's like, well, we wouldn't have been able to move out or we wouldn't have been able to, you know, be actual married adults. But, yeah, I mean, like I said, blessing in disguise. Look at that.
Yeah, I get it.
Then you got me.
Aww.
You know, excuse me?
Aww.
Excuse me?
Yeah, at the end of it, okay. And you're at the step where she's telling you, man, my timeline, I wanted to have kids.
Right.
And it's like now he has to go back and forth on if he wants to fight her with having kids or if they're gonna go through a divorce because now they're not aligning.
And that's another thing that's hard when you're so young. Okay, I know that back in the day. Okay, and if you want to go like way back, yeah, we did used to have kids younger because biologically we had to because we would die earlier and things like that. But I mean, we're in a day and age where we have advancements in science and just in general, you know, women are working more and there's a lot more going on so that we tend to have kids later. And I'm not saying it's wrong if you want kids, you know, by 25 or whatever, because I know someone who did that. And, you know, she got married at like, I think it was like 22 or something, was having a kid by 26 or something, you know, and that's fine. But this is one of those issues where I'm going with this is, in your early 20s, you may want different things than in your later 20s. Or you may not exactly know yet because you're still young. Okay? I went back and forth until like recently if I wanted kids at all.
Yeah.
You know, like a year ago or whatever. And I always felt like I would lean more towards the kid route, but I was always very open to the fact that maybe I would swing either way. But then through growth and through going through things, I figured out why I had those opinions. It wasn't really that I didn't want kids. It was that I didn't want to do certain things. So, you know, then I was like, okay, yeah, I definitely want kids. And I know like for you and me, when we had went to counseling, like that was a literal deal breaker. It's like, if I was like, that's a hard pass, I don't want kids. And you're like, well, it's a hard pass, I do want kids. Yeah. Then obviously, well, that's not going to work. You can't force, because it's not wrong either way, but you can't force the other person into it, because imagine that, okay? Like the worst thing is to make someone who doesn't want kids have kids. That is the worst thing for everybody involved. But those kids, that's just sad because they're going to resent those kids. Like it's not going to be good. So it's like, yeah. So then, I mean, I feel like, you know, she may be gung-ho, but he may not know yet. He may not know for sure if he wants kids yet. And that's fine. But, you know, and then if he swings more towards no, then yes. I mean, that is kind of, it sucks, but that is kind of grounds for divorce because, again, That's a very big deal breaker. That's a very big differing of opinions.
Yeah.
That you can't. There's no middle ground there. You either have kids or you don't.
Or if it's a simple fact of like, okay, she has this idea in her head where it's like, okay, they got married when they were 22. It's been 5 years, so they're 27. It's like, okay, I'm not ready to have kids yet. Maybe in the next 2-3 years, I may be up for it. Or when I feel comfortable, you know, we can talk about this more. But right now, I'm still, you know, let's say I'm still pursuing my career. I'm still trying to like enjoy my life before I have to prepare for someone else's.
Right. Same.
So it's like,
Same.
It's like, of course, it goes down to the conversation part, and it's like, I always hate when I hear, like, especially guys I know, like, feel forced into proposing to people and getting married to people, and it's just like, it's just gonna end up having an issue. Like, let's not do that. Let's communicate. Let's figure out how, you know, how things are gonna work out, and let's go from there.
Let me ask you something.
What?
I had a thought, because I feel like this might happen sometimes too.
Yep.
If I was like pressuring you into proposing and you weren't doing it because you weren't ready yet, if the tables turned and I proposed to you because I was being impatient, would you have said no?
Yeah, because I didn't want to.
Interesting. I mean, I assumed so, but yeah.
Because it's like,
no,
yeah,
I feel like
now
that,
it's like, I already, because I probably voiced what I was, you know,
Why?
I didn't want to, and then it's like, okay, here you go pushing it on me. It's like, I already told you no.
I feel like that legitimately probably happens. Is that like there's women that gets, because who cares? I mean, it could go either which way nowadays. It doesn't really matter, but it's like, yeah.
I'm sure.
And it's like, I don't know where you think that's going, because yeah, it's romantic and whoop-de-doo, like it's different, but it's like, it's almost like an arranged marriage at that point. Like you're forcing somebody. Yeah. That's not the thought process is not great there. Because think about it. It's like, it's literally just because you're being impatient.
Pretty much.
You're not taking the person's feelings into consideration.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, it shouldn't, there needs, the stigma that, like, if a guy's not ready or if a girl's not ready to get married needs to be gone. And it really needs to be that person not accepting, you know, your significant other's boundaries, I guess you could say. Of like, hey, I'm not ready for this.
Well, yeah, no, what I thought was interesting with you is I remember you saying that if I had said no when you proposed, that it didn't necessarily mean that we're over. Because I feel like that's a thing, too, is that most people think if somebody rejects a proposal, that means that you no longer can be in a relationship because, oh, this person doesn't want to be with me. But a lot of times it's probably the fact of, no, I'm just not ready. It's not that I don't want to be with you, period.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like you were like, oh, we would still be together. Like, yeah, we would, you know, maybe it'd be a little awkward and we just wouldn't say anything to anybody, but it would just...
Because here's my thing. If that's where someone's taking it, if that's where their mindset is, where it's like, damn, I just proposed to you and you said no to me, and you're automatically being like, oh, we can't be together then that's an issue in itself. Like, it's like, no, that's a conversation. Then what do we have to talk about for us to like get there?
Depends why it was a no. There could be different reasons.
If it's like, man, you're just doing this to like, I don't know, I just cheated on you and you're trying to propose to like make things smooth over, which I feel like happens, or something like that, then obviously.
Or what if the person getting proposed to is the person who cheated and they haven't said anything yet, and then all of a sudden they get proposed to and they're like, shit.
Yeah.
Now I have to say something. There's probably a lot of different.
But yeah, it's not always like, man, we have to break up. With everything, I push it so much. Like, even in our relationship, is communicating. Like, yo, tell me what's wrong. Like,
yeah,
like
it's hard.
And it happens in my job too, where it's like I'm starting to realize this, where it's always you have to talk to know what
others are thinking.
Well, if you need help, because it's always like, hey, if you need help, just, you know, ask us, and like everyone's willing to help. You just have to let it be known, and I rock with that all the time. It's
the same thing of like, the answer is always no if you never ask.
Exactly, and I believe that, like, on point. Like, that's why I plan on telling our kids, like, tell me what you need. Let's talk about it, and then we'll go from there. Like, I'm not gonna get mad at you. We're not gonna fight over it. It's just, let's figure out what the problem is, and let's figure out how we can solve it.
I need 500 cookies.
I'll give you 500 cookies over the next 30 years.
No, I need 500 cookies now.
Okay, well, I don't have 500 cookie money, son.
But my tummy needs 500 cookies.
Then you better start getting a job.
What's a job?
A job is when you would go take the trash out for daddy.
But I'm 5. It's heavy.
You better suck it up and put some hair on that chest.
What? Mommy doesn't have hair on her chest.
My chest gets hair.
My chest gets hairy. Oh my gosh! Next thing you're gonna tell me is that my legs get hairy too.
Oh, they do. That's not the only thing.
And then Mommy's just like, "Oh, just wait."
That's not the only thing that gets hairy.
Where are we going with that, sir? I talked about a 5-year-old.
Oh, good. I mean, you gotta talk about the bees and the Missy. Go down.
When was that I feel like my first introduction to that maybe was like first grade or something, actually.
Oh, no, but mine was never.
A very
My
tame.
parents never talked about that stuff.
No, I mean like school.
Oh, yeah. I went to a Catholic school, so it didn't happen.
My parents is when I was 8. I remember that.
Weirdo.
It was a weird book.
Oh, God. Okay. On to another topic that is not as fun. Dog. So, Juice WRLD, I'm sure as everyone knows, Juice WRLD passed away this past Sunday. Well, not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before this past one. And it's sad. Like, I wasn't a big fan of him. I didn't really listen to his music. But it's sad knowing that there's another young kid that was literally just turned 21 passing away. And here goes Lauren walking past the camera. Thank you very much for everyone watching on YouTube. You just saw the blue flash. And it's so sad seeing, like, this young kid, like, literally full of life. Same thing that happened to Triple X, to Little Peep. All these young kids that, like, have so much potential and have so much life in them just pass away. And it's sad. And you're gonna... Okay.
You know what? I was trying to make it not obvious.
It's so sad.
Little Peep.
And here's my issue that we got to talk about here. I don't know what it is with kids that think like doing drugs is so great, because that's
peer pressure. Do you not remember like middle and high school?
That's right. So wait, is that where it starts at? Is that what we're saying?
I feel like because when you're in middle, well, it depends on the environment too. Like obviously if your parents are doped up and stuff, but like, no, like middle and high school, like you're in your box of like, this is my world right now. And yeah, like peer pressure's a thing. Like,
yeah.
oh, you're waiting till 21 to drink. That's lame. Yeah. I drink beer every Friday at the party or something.
Which beer is nasty because I know,
but
beer, but
it's just an example. And it's like, yeah, peer pressure's a thing. It's real.
So here's my issue. I'm so upset. And if Juice WRLD was like a friend of mine and I knew this beforehand, like if this was my friend and I see this guy like popping a bunch of pills trying to not like get caught by the police as he's getting off this airplane, I'd be like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, there's reasons why these bottles have, descriptions of saying, take one at this time, take one later in the day, or take one a day. Like, and these come with side effects. Like, if they have to give side effects for these prescribed drugs, why are you taking them and why are you taking so many? Like, this isn't something to play with.
Especially if you just go from like not really taking that much and like you pop like a whole bottle or something, like obviously like there's no tolerance.
Well, I think he had tolerance, just not for that much.
Exactly.
Like, and it's like, come on now. He was already gonna get in trouble. So to give you more like information on this to you and everyone else listening, so he was on a private jet and I guess he had guns and drugs on the plane. And because he's going from one state to another, you can't do that. So the pilot called police in and met at the airport. So of course Juice WRLD knows this now. So that's why he popped the pills. And this video somewhere of like you see him like in the airport. Of course you don't see like the seizure part of it, but like I guess he gets like apprehended by police and somewhere in that like he starts having a seizure. And they found on the plane, there was, I think it was like 70 bags of weed. Like, it was wild. Like, there was suitcases of just bags of weed in it. And I'm like, what are you doing with this much? Like, you look like you're a drug dealer yourself.
Right.
And it was interesting because I was listening to the Joe Budden podcast, of course, and like I think you even said it, where it's like, oh, like if they're gonna go after the drug dealer that gave him this, but it's different from Mac Miller because Mac Miller took a drug where he wasn't thinking that it was like laced with something that's gonna kill him. Like the drug dealer like didn't know where his supply was from and sold Mac it. So yeah, you're gonna go to jail because you pretty much killed someone. Doing something that's illegal.
Yeah, but I think in the end it was the whole idea of, well, a drug dealer is a drug dealer.
Well,
and it's
of course,
illegal.
of course, you're going to jail, but on top of it, on top of the charges that you normally get for selling drugs, you're going to jail with causing a murder.
Right. And so, I mean, it's kind of this. Well, then it's not kind of the same.
And supposedly, this guy was like a known drug dealer that was like bad or something like that. Maybe he's done this before, so other people have died. Maybe. I'm not sure because I don't know the facts on it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But yeah. So of course that guy he recently went to jail. I forgot his name. But I don't think. I'm not sure how they're gonna handle Juice WRLD's one. Of course they want to get the guy that sold Juice WRLD all the drugs like off the street or whatever. But like, the reason he died was just his stupidity. Like as sad as it like is said. And it's like, wow, your birthday happened, and like not even a week from your birthday, you pass away. And he made a song recently talking about Triple X and Little Peep, saying how like
Peep. I love that.
Okay,
I just think of Peeps.
Cool, corny, and like talking about them and everything. And he even made a line saying like he may not even make it to 21, and it's like he made it a few days after that.
Ooh.
And it's like, it's so sad. His girlfriend was saying like he's like, what is it? He's like he's a drug addict and everything. And it's like, dog, if this is your boyfriend, this is someone that you see yourself with, and you find this to be acceptable.
I mean, I don't think people find it to be acceptable.
That's wild to me. That's kids. Yeah. It's annoying. If I ever found out my siblings were doing anything like this,
pop them upside the head.
Yeah, I'd be like, what are you, stupid? And I would bring up like these cases of Juice WRLD and everything and watch. She'll be like, oh no, it can't happen to me. And I'm like, that's what every one of these people thought. Like,
I mean, that's what people think about everything, even like texting and driving and drunk driving and like all of it. Like, oh no, I'm better than that.
Dog, you're playing with death. It's so stupid to me. So at the end of it, man, R.I.P. to Juice WRLD. Another kid that had a lot of potential, and it's just sad. Like,
I didn't realize he did the Lucid Dream song. I think I knew it at one point, but yeah, I like that song.
It's so sad. Like, man.
What?
Well, on to other rap news here. Even though you don't care about this, but I care about this because I'm all about the rap stuff. Dog, Nick Cannon wants to call Eminem out. And I feel like Nick Cannon is just reaching at this point.
Well, yeah.
Nick's like, hey, I need attention. Oh, you talking about Mariah? Oh, you talking about I got a vasectomy? She snipped my balls? Nah.
I don't know why he's coming out rapping and stuff. I never saw Nick Cannon like that. You know, I saw him growing up on like TV shows.
Oh, Love Don't Cost a Thing, looking like a loser.
Like, you know, and right now, like he does the whole Masked Singer show, and like, you know, I never saw him like this. And it's like, now you're just coming out of nowhere, causing issues, and this is also drama that is like super old. Like, what are you doing? Why?
Yeah. I feel like Nick's just doing it.
It's not even lukewarm tea. It's like ice cold tea at this point.
He's just doing it for attention. And I'm not even sure if Eminem's gonna respond. He came up on Twitter saying, "You mad, bro?" He doesn't even have a chauffeur and all this stuff because Nick Cannon's making allegations saying that he sucked off some guy and his chauffeur got it on video or something. And Eminem's like, "I don't have a chauffeur."
Eminem's like, "Nah, I fired my chauffeur after you said that."
Well, that's what Nick said. He paid him off, then laid him off.
That's funny. Now I can say I don't have a chauffeur.
And yeah. But It's corny. And it's funny because same thing I was thinking when Nick Cannon put out this diss track, the first one, The Invitation. And I'm like, why do you have other people on here? A diss track is not you and a bunch of people. That's you jumping someone.
Yeah.
Nah, you gotta go one on one. And he did it a second time with Pray For Them, and I'm like, this guy's a loser. And everyone, Eminem didn't have to come out with anything because Twitter for the rest of that night was just getting on Nick.
Mm-hmm.
Hilarious. And then TMZ tried getting Fat Joe into this, and he's like, man, look what you started, this and that, whose side are you on, and all that. And Fat Joe's like, dog, I'm cool friends with Nick. Me and Eminem are cool, like...
I don't blame him. I'd be like, don't even try this. I'm not doing that.
Man, Fat Joe, he knew. He's like, you're gonna put this song on my album? That's gonna, cause some issues, and it's gonna help me get some plays. So yeah, go ahead, Em.
Well, yeah, there's always a motive. Come on.
Go ahead, pile it on. Yeah. Any thoughts on that whole beef debacle?
The what?
That beef.
I don't know. I said what I said. It's
Mariah
dumb.
Carey's just like sitting there, like, man, these
Why
boys.
are you so obsessed with me? That's what you're saying.
It's like, right, man, I just licked your booty hole once. Like, damn. What? I mean, I would believe Eminem has. No? Okay. Damn. So, another thing I want to touch on here, guys. So we've been following this for pretty much this whole year on Instagram, doing this whole thing. It hasn't happened yet, at least on my account. I haven't seen anything change.
No, me either.
I feel like they're trying to hit this maybe by the end of the year. There may be like an automatic thing where it's like, oh, here comes January 1st. Boom. So everyone was saying at the time that like, oh man, Instagram is doing this for like money reasons and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So Facebook employees have like pretty much came out. Who did this? It's just a Cult of Mac article. And they came out saying like, no, it's not the reason for it. And the reason is something that I actually said in the past episode, I believe a few weeks ago when we brought this up again. I'm just pulling it up. So, oh man, I lost my place on this. Okay, chill. So the article goes on to say, 3 former Facebook employees told CNBC that the social media company's growth and data science teams are motivated by research suggesting that getting rid of likes could increase the churn of content. And that's what they were doing as they were doing experiments within the 7 countries over the summer. And then, went globally more recently, and they're slowly trying to roll it out. So I guess, of course, because this was my thought, where they were like, it's not to like stop from people's money, but it's to keep content on it, because then your content's going to get better because you're not focused on likes, where that Instagram model can be like, hey, I'm a science professional, I want to share more of that stuff. It's going to create more content, which then keeps people on the app longer, which then keeps ad money happening.
It all makes sense.
And that's what these tests were, and that's what it leads to. So it's not necessarily to cut off, influencers' pockets. It's kind of just like, hey, if it happens, it happens. It doesn't affect Instagram. But it's more so just to keep, you on there on Instagram longer and add money to keep coming in. Because, again, Instagram is a free app unless you're doing promoting with with the ads. So I just want to throw it out there that I have confirmed my theory, and it seems to be correct based on these ex-Facebook employees.
I mean, it doesn't really surprise me. And I know, like, I've talked about it. Like, I'm in there's like a group chat I'm in on Instagram where, like, we all do, like, beauty stuff. And so whenever we post, we put, like, emojis in there so that we'll get, like, we'll all go and, like and comment on each other's posts for, like, the algorithm and stuff. And, yeah, we were talking about it and how, now like comments and stuff are going to be more important. And they're even saying saves are going to be more important. The save option?
Wow, how?
Because that is another thing that if you get more saves, you'll pop up more. The little thing in the corner. So now saves and comments are going to be like the most important.
That is smart.
Yep.
Because if people are saving it, they really like it. And they're like, huh, even though I feel like I don't even use that feature because I'm like, what the heck am I saving?
I use it sometimes like if I want to go back to something.
See, I never go back to anything on Instagram.
Well, I'm trying to like comment on certain people's stuff and all that, but
you're better than me.
Well, I have a strategy. I have to. It's different.
Well, look at you. Why don't you handle the podcast one then?
What?
Why don't you handle the podcast Instagram and get back to people?
Because I'm too busy with mine. But yeah. So it's kind of, it'll be interesting because I you know, there are like a core group of people that I always see like all of my posts, and so when likes go away, I'm like, all right, well, you're either going to convert to commenting or it's just going to be like, hey, that looks good. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of...
Well, see, here's what I like, because this may favor actually, like, me and the podcast, where I put, like, more videos out, because it's not focusing on your likes, and now you have to, like, look at the video, and it's like, I feel like it may favor that. Kind of like it may favor, like, instead of images, video more.
Well, yeah, it's been favoring video for a while.
I wouldn't say that. I feel like it's equal.
Video is, well, okay, I wouldn't say the platform is favoring video. Video is better for, like, capturing people.
What do you mean capturing people?
Like their attention and for showing up more and stuff like that.
Well, and I like how video shows you who has viewed it.
Yes.
Versus like pictures, you don't really get to see that.
You can't see who scroll. Yeah.
So it's like gives you a good idea of like how, or I mean, you can see it with impressions, I guess. But it's like...
You can't say who on impressions. You can see how many.
But see, my issue with impressions, I don't know if I trust it because I'm like, I don't get to see necessarily if that's true. If like, oh, it says I got, 700 people have seen this picture, but I don't have 700 likes. So it's like, I like video because it's like...
Think about it, because even me, I scroll through Instagram, I don't like everybody's picture, but it doesn't... And you know what it is too? The impressions I take with a grain of salt, because you know what I think it is? That person may not have necessarily like actually stopped and looked at my picture, but maybe I was on their feed and they scrolled past. I feel like that's part of what impressions count for.
That's what I never understood.
So like to me, I take it with a grain of salt that I'm like, okay, not everybody is actually like paying attention to what I posted. I don't know. We'll see. It's one of those things that some people are going to love it, some people are going to hate it, and we're all just going to have to adjust.
Yeah, it's pretty much you adapting.
Just like Facebook, all of their changes they've made over the years, we all would bitch for like a week or two, and then it's whatever.
Yeah, it's just adapting your brand, your content, all that stuff, and seeing what works. I'm waiting for it to hit me, but I feel like they're waiting to like next year. Because it like they said this back in like June, July, and it still hasn't happened.
Yeah.
So...
I think it's been other countries.
Yeah, but they said U.S. back a few months ago.
So
it's like, what's happening?
I don't know.
So the original relationship topic I had to end with is no longer available. Sadly, it was a good one. Okay,
you should screenshot these.
I know what it is because I read it, of course. So I'm gonna just give you my rundown on what it was.
Okay.
Don't have much information on it, but it's the meat of it.
Okay.
So this one was about a guy that found his soon-to-be wife's, because currently they're gonna get married. I think they're gonna get married within a few days or a week or something. He found her diary, and he looked at it. He looked over the last 2 months, and he's like, I know I shouldn't. And recently, she went and saw her ex that I'm not sure how long they were together with. And there's things about it, and essentially in the diary it was saying like how like she's so like stuck on like she's unsure, and she's like if her I guess she wrote in the diary if her ex made like a move like that he was interested in her, like she would totally like be on it. And like now this guy's sitting here like, what do I do? Like I know I shouldn't be reading this, but like this is like some red flag information that I need in my life.
Oh no. I don't have a good answer to that. I don't know, because that's ooh.
Dog, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do.
That's tricky. I feel like that's one of those situations that you would try to like bring it up in a different way, You know what I mean? Like, what have you been up to lately? You know, like, oh, like, you run into anybody? Like, I ran into so-and-so at the grocery store. You know, like, so you try and, like, get stuff out of them.
Well, I would ask, like, you know, maybe, like, are you happy with me? You know, are you ready to get married? Yeah, but that's an easy one
just to be like, oh, yeah.
No, I'm going to keep digging into it. We're going to get into this.
Yeah, I'm happy with you. Come here, let's cuddle and watch a movie.
No, I'm going to be like, seriously, because you've been acting a little off. And she's going to be like,
How am I acting off?
Exactly. Now she's going to start thinking, like,
what?
Oh, yeah, I have been off.
No, I haven't. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
What are you talking about?
See, it's tough. And that's wild.
That was, okay, here's the thing. The whole seeing the ex part is not the big deal for me because it happens. But, like, it was the whole, like, you're straight up saying, if my ex made a move, I'd go running back.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Exactly. And it makes you question your relationship and your
like,
marriage.
Why? Out of nowhere, just like, you're just, wow. Girl.
Like, why are we together? If this is like, what's our soon-to-be commitment worth if you're so easily swayed?
Yeah.
It's like, wow, okay. I would totally, you can't even postpone a wedding. I mean, you could if you really want to.
People do it.
I would have this conversation and break it down. Let's like, because that's wild to me.
Wait, so they are engaged or he was going to propose?
They're engaged.
Oh.
Soon to be married soon.
Oh, no. That's worse.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to propose.
No.
Oh, no.
And,
oh, girl. What?
Yeah. It's a touchy one. And
but it is annoying, the whole reading the diary thing too. But also, this is why I don't do that stuff. I've never trusted the whole writing stuff out and leaving it somewhere where anybody could get it.
So where do you keep your stuff that you write out?
I basically don't, to be honest.
Oh, so it's in your phone.
No, I don't. Period. I don't do that shit. Oh. That's probably why I can't sleep and stuff, because it's all in my head.
Oh, you should write them down somewhere and get
You know what? Stop it.
So I can read them. Maybe we could share a notes app. You know, you can get your notes out. I can look at your notes, proofread them.
Instead of him saying, I can get my notes out, he's like, you can get your notes out. I can look at your notes. Like, what?
I'm here to support you and make sure, you're doing well. You know? I got you.
Oh, my gosh.
I got you, boo-boo.
Ew.
What you need?
Ew. No,
what
thanks.
you need? What you need?
Yeah, like I tried when I was younger, like doing those little diaries and stuff. But
and then my parents found it and read it.
Well, no, that's a very real thing, though. Like you get scared of when you're younger. So, like, I think that was a deterrent. But also, I just never stuck with it. I'm not one of the. There's been so many times, like from therapy and stuff, I'm supposed to be like journaling every day and doing all this, and I just don't like it. It's not my thing. Like some people, they have to do their daily pages like when they wake up or when they go to bed, and that's like their thing, and I'm like, good for you, I wish, but I hate it. It never catches on for me.
I wouldn't. Like at the very least I would do is find an app, because I'm sure there's an app.
Yeah. I've tried that too.
Well, no, not an app for me to write. No, I just want an app for me to like to be able to get my thoughts in video form, so me to record a video and say, this is how my day was, this is how I was feeling, this is how everything went, and over time have a bunch of video clips
That's
of
smart.
like how everything happens. It shows me how I age, how things just different. I like that better, and it saves a lot more time than me sitting there typing it or writing it out. At the end of this though, I'll totally have a conversation with my soon-to-be wife.
Ugh.
And be like, dog, it's either me or not me. Like,
or
let's
not
be real.
me.
Because that's wild to me.
Oh my god, that's.
Because I don't want to have a soon-to-be divorced within a year because you want to sit here and play these games with me. You get married, then this guy comes along being like, man, I miss you. We should start hanging out more. Fuck out of here.
Girl. No. Nope.
But yeah, that's what that one was.
Okay. I believe you. But yeah, you should screenshot them then.
It's just tough because it doesn't save to my iPad, all that stuff.
It doesn't?
No, it doesn't.
Your pictures don't save? Like
From
if you take a screenshot?
to my iPad, no.
Oh, that. Text it to yourself.
Yeah,
and
that's a lot of work.
Oh my gosh.
We out here, we're a simple podcast, we simple people over here.
What was with the weird
I don't know.
accent and hand gesture?
I was trying to be like,
You were trying to be Italian, but not. Like, it was not working.
this is spicy meatball. Nah.
Is that what you think an Italian sounds like?
Dog, it doesn't matter. You're part Italian.
Jamaica, man.
Okay, let's not go with that.
See, exactly. So,
When we go to Jamaica,
don't be insulting my heritage.
when we go to Jamaica for our honeymoon, though, don't say that. Don't. When someone walks up to you, like,
Right, it's gonna be weird.
Hi, man.
Well, right, it's gonna be weird because because like when we were in Mexico, everyone would just pass us and be like "Hola," and so you say "Hola" back because you're in their native land, but like
Jamaica, they'd probably be like, hi.
well, yeah, I mean,
Hey.
you still just say hi. You just don't want to do the accent because then it comes off offensive.
Pretty much. So don't do it. I may be good.
Like some of my friends. Oh my gosh. One of the guys I know, and I'll tell you after. You know who it is.
Yep.
And he'll like when we talk about Jamaica, there's been a couple times he's like, "Oh, Jamaica, man," and like does the whole thing. And I feel like that's such a white person thing to do.
Pretty much.
To like, oh, you're going to Jamaica, and they do the whole thing, and I'm just like, and like I cringe at it now. I'm just like, no, don't do that.
Yeah, stop
like,
being racist.
It's not funny.
Stop it. Stop it with your microaggressions.
Oh.
But yeah, that's all I got. Simple podcast, you know, we try to keep it easy. Around this time, we're literally keeping it easy because
We're going insane.
We took off Monday and Tuesday, and we're just trying to chill.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
man, guys, we're gonna wrap this bad boy up. As always, I know I haven't said it in the last few episodes. I totally want your feedback. I want you to share your thoughts, share your opinions, share your questions. You know, hit us in your email. What?
He's getting into it.
Hit us in our email, PagingTheSimpsons@gmail.com. You know, leave us a voice message through Anchor. We'll play it on the next episode. We want your feedback. I totally would love to start taking more questions. We only had, I'd say like a handful throughout our almost a year of podcasting, which is coming up, I like to say about like end February, March-ish. So we got a few more months for it to be a whole year, which is wild. This is the 80th episode, so who knows? By then, we may be at 100. Hey. I'm not
Almost.
sure. We'll have to
At
see.
one a week, we'll be at like 92 or
We'll have
something.
to see. You may have to crank out some extra ones.
For our 1 year anniversary.
But, yeah, I mean, I totally want to take more questions from you guys, thoughts, opinions, all that stuff. I appreciate the support 100%. Yeah. As always, guys, if you're listening to us on iTunes, please give us a review.
5 stars, 5 stars.
We appreciate it 100%. Man, with that being said, we're going to go wrap up on this final wedding planning. Make sure Sunday goes off without a hitch. We'll have an update for you guys come Tuesday with how everything went. Yeah.
And then it's going to be Christmas. Tuesday's Christmas Eve.
Oh,
That's crazy. And then the next Tuesday's New Year's Eve. Like,
Yeah,
it's
that's right.
crazy.
that's true.
Woo. So thanks if you're listening on the holidays.
Yeah. I mean, I do the same thing with podcasts because normally it's like slower, so I get to listen to more podcasts on the holidays. And I hate it because a lot of my podcasts I like do like wrap ups, and it's just like audio clips of different parts of like the year. I'm like,
Well,
I
yeah.
hate that, dog.
No.
I want new content, not your repeated
Well, it's hard because
stuff.
a lot of people go away and
Pre-record.
you know.
Look at us.
look at us. Yeah, look at us, guys.
Exactly.
We're an example.
Yeah. With that being said, guys, we're gonna wrap this bad boy up. Once again, prepare your ears. I'm Shadell, co-host of Paging the Simpsons. I'm joined by my lovely wife.
Missy did a nervous burp when you said that, so I'm like, that was the reaction.
Okay.
Lauren, I won't do it again. I'm
Thank
sorry.
you.
Guys.
Man, guys, and we will see you on the next episode.
Bye.
Peace out.